So here we go with part 3 of the Grass Valley control panel controlling the Blackmagic Videohub. I just thought I might quickly mention here in respect to quickly finding out what Videohub you have connected. You can just use a telnet connection. As you see here, that's the help screen which you get using the question mark. But if I actually use the telnet screen and go S, where it is here, where it is down there, S, type S for status, then it'll show you all the separate parameters. And the one we're looking at, of course, is the Videohub IP address. And you can see that 4-digit number, the last digit is unique to the specific Videohub that I have connected at 192.168.2.121, which in this case is the broadcast Videohub, which is a 72 by 144. That's the one I'm just going to be showing you the part 3, which is how to set the crosspoint allocations for each of the 20 key bus buttons. The first 10 being unshifted, the second 10 is using the shift key. Is that right? Shift key. Yep. Okay. So the first thing that we need to know is we need to know the current allocations for those buttons. Now that can be displayed on the telnet by using the letter H command. So I'm just going to type the letter H, and it'll show you the current allocations. Now this will also automatically show you when you go in to do the settings. So this is only just for a casual quick check during normal operation. But as you can see down this side here, you've got your unshifteds, the 10 key bus buttons, and then down here the shifted 11 to 20. So it gives you 20 totally pre-programmable selectable inputs, which is good for doing live cuts on your Videohub between totally different sources without having to go climb up one by one as you do with the buttons as I've shown you down here. We're now going to do, we're going to be able to do it as I showed you in the last video using the key bus buttons and set them up as per normal. A little later on I will be including the ability to be able to save and recall setups for the Videohub key bus buttons. So the way we get into it is to, as we did before, using the shift button and pattern 8 while we're in color 1-2 mode. We're just going to do what we do when we normally go into controlling the video hubs by going shift pattern 8 and then taking your fingers off the button. If you hold your finger down on the shift, you then go into the IP config setup, which we don't want to do. We did that in video number 1. But as soon as we enter into this mode, we go into the control mode, as I showed you in the last video. Always remembers the last destination, and this is telling me that it was destination 103, the flashing indicating at 100, and that's the current source for 103. Now to enter into the programming mode for the buttons, we are just going to hit pattern 8 again without hitting shift. As soon as we hit pattern 8, you'll see now that well, if there's any lights on the key bus, they've all gone off. You see the display's gone off, and it's now waiting for me to select any one of the 10 key bus buttons for inputs 1 to 10, and holding my finger on the shift button. I'll show you it. If I'm just going to talk about it, I'll just show it. Hold your finger on the shift button, will then be able to program 11 to 20, the allocations for the cross points. These cross points are for all destinations, so it's got this particular set of programming doesn't bother with the destination, because no matter what destination you're on, these sources will be what will be selected to that destination. The reason the panel's gone blank is because it's waiting for us to select which particular button we want to program. So I'm going to say, let's just select button number 1. Now before I do, you might notice that button number 1 just so happens to have input number 1. Just remember these names down here, not the numbers, these are the numbers I generate. These names down here, which is including these numbers, are the names that are programmed into the Videohub. So if you actually have a look at the Videohub, focus there, and I'll go to page 1 of the full page Videohub screen, you'll see my actual labels have got a number in there. And again, if I actually go and view the labels, customize labels, you'll see that I've actually, in my label name, I've got the numbers there anyhow. So the numbers you're seeing over to the right of the period or full stop, that's just part of the name. It's not no numbers generated in here. So we'll just take that back to normal, and we'll go back to what we're showing down here. So as this, we haven't actually selected the button we're going to program a source into. Now remember, these are not sources of the ATEM. These are the sources of the Videohub, and that's what makes this different to any other button allocations you've seen, being the program preview buses, the key bus, and the aux bus. They always allocate inputs of the ATEM. What we're doing here now is we're actually allocating inputs of the Videohub. So let's say we're now going to program button 1. Even though there is a source already programmed there, we're going to hit button 1, and button 1 will light. And now if you look at the screen, it's now changed and said 1, being the button number, has source number 1 of the Videohub allocated to it, as we saw up here. As you can see, we had button number 1, because these here are the 10 unshifteds. Button number 1 of the unshifted has input 1 of the Videohub selected. And you can see down the bottom here, it's actually showing you that button number 1 has input 1 of the Videohub selected. So if I want to change that to another value, that's all I need to do is select it over here. Move my hand out of the way, and now I'm actually changing that. Now it's not actually changing anything other than the allocation. So you can see here, as I'm just clicking this up, you can see that's switching up, and then I can also go backwards. I can click by holding the shift down and click forward. I can go 10 at a time. I can do this without getting my hand in the way. So that's 10 at a time going up and 10 at a time going down. So let's just say there's an interesting name you can remember. So that's now allocated to button 1, input 31. So once I've done that, I don't have to hit enter because it does it as we go. So now I can then just go and select button number 2, and as you can see now, button number 2 has something totally different because it's a different button, and it can be any source or whatever you want to program it to. Now that button number 1 that we just pre-programmed, that's stored, so you don't have to worry about anything at all. If we actually go back to button number 1, I'll show you over here. We click back to button number 1, and you'll see that's what it stored for us. And of course, as I'm changing just the buttons, you can see it's showing what we have selected. So let's go to say button number 6, and you'll see button number 6 over here has got 13, and I can then change that to whatever I want. Just clicking it up. There you go. Let's call it. What's something you can remember? These are all the machines that I have in my tape room, and just trying to find something that you can remember so you know that it really is doing it. There you go. There's a GVG Pro machine. and you can see now that says number 39. If I go over to here to the source names, just got to find this up here. You go view, customize names, and let's go to 39, source 39. You can see there, source 39, DVC Pro. Anyhow, that's just incidental. So, so then as I switch away, let's say to switch button 4, you can see button 4 here has got input 4 selected. But if I go back to button 6 again, you'll see it's got that source that we just selected, so they're permanently stored. So that's a very quick way of doing it, using the panel buttons. If I now hit exit or abort, I'm over here, let's change hands. So we just hit focus, change hands, and now I've come out, and it's come out of button programming. It's gone into normal Videohub control now, but we'll come out of that as well. And when we come out, you'll see it then shows you the new allocations that we just made, and they will stay there until you change them, regardless of whether you turn the power on or power off. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to do the same thing again on the Telnet screen, but I'm just going to drag it over here so that I don't have to reach so far to show you. So there's our normal just Telnet screen with whatever. I'm just going to hit the question mark for just help. And you might notice in here there's a few new items that you'll notice when you get upgraded. You'll see now down here there's the letter H for showing and setting your crosspoint allocations. There's another one here called P for showing and setting your preview bus interlock to Videohub, which we cover in the 4th video. There's probably a few others down here, but I'm just bringing up the ones pertinent to here. You'll see now there's a capital P down here. This sets which particular Videohub destination your preview bus will interlock to, and again we'll cover that more in video number 4. But what I'm going to show you here now is the quick way of setting your crosspoints, sorry, your source allocations to the preview bus from the Videohub. And the way we do that is that I showed you this bit before. If you just press the letter H, there you go, press the letter H, it'll show you the current button allocations for unshifted and shifted. And if I want to change, say, number 3 to, let's say, 13, I just type in, see how close I can go here so you can see what I'm typing. So I'm just going to type the letter H, and I want to change button number 3, and then hit the space, and then select the source that I want, say 13. And now you'll see button number 3 has been changed to source 13. That's the quick way of you doing it using Telnet, and as I mentioned before, you would probably need to use the command HN for names, and because this is a 72 by 144, it's going to come up with a huge number of names. But there's all the names, and you can then scroll back and work out your numbering, what numbers you want of the these are the numbers that you want to enter, and these are the sources that those numbers will select. So that's just another way of doing that. Just go back down to the bottom there again. So this HN command will only show you the names of the input and output destination, or input sources, output destinations. There was one other thing I wanted to show you with this. Oh, I know what it was. I'm going to quickly show you scripting. I'm just going to open up a notepad here. And I'm going to drag that down a bit so you can see what I'm doing. So here's a quick script you can write. You can just say, just type in, get focus first, type in, say, H1 space 1. So that's going to say, let's select Videohub destination, Videohub button, keybus button number 1. I want to go to Videohub source number 1. Hit enter and just go H2. So this is the second button. Let's say 2, and then H3, 3, and then let's go H4 is going to be, say, 17. It's a good number. Enter. So we've just typed that into a text file. It can be either Notepad or text edit in Mac. So just going to do that. We're going to go copy, and then on putty is all you have to do is right click. I'm not quite sure what you do on Mac terminal. So if I just right click there, it's actually copied that whole script in there, and it's done those 4 changes. Now this you can also do using when you want to change your program preview, your keybus and your aux bus allocations. You just I have scripts that I just paste into the Telnet window, and it just does it all automatically for me. So now you can see those 3 buttons have changed, and number 4 buttons been changed to 17. That scripting has been there since day 1, but I haven't really said too much about that. And so that concludes the programming button. I've got to fix up my iPhone because it just has trouble focusing. So next up will be the 4th video, which will be programming the preview row of the panel to specifically switch a programmable destination to any source that you want these buttons to select to. That will be better explained in that video. So for now, farewell.